This is by far the biggest news you're ever going to hear. With me, Mr. Kapil Sibal, and he's holding what is called the impossible to do device, right?
It's not impossible.
Well, every single person across the world, I think 20 different countries over 10 years have tried this, they've failed, and everybody said you will too. Yes. You're holding what is now known as the $35, even cheaper tablet now. We introduced this, we were all very gung-ho about it, and then everybody said, what did you do? It'll never come about.
No, there were so many doubting Toms. Actually, when I go to the net, there are people saying on the net about me, where is that device, Mr. Sibal?
Every day, we hear about it.
What about that device? 200, we are in 2011. You promised that you would have this device in 2011. I wanted it early in the year, but it got delayed for some reasons. But here we have it.
This is a label which says made in India. Absolutely. We've actually been able to do that. Take us through this journey that you've had from the time you thought of this, from the time it was more a dream for you to the fact that you're holding it right now. And then it's a made in India.
What was our objective? Our objective ultimately, this is just a device, right? But this device has a meaning, and it has a meaning for whom? For children. Through this, they have all the features that an ordinary computer would have. They can actually interact not just with each other but with the rest of the world. And imagine this in the hands of children who are learning. And when they get used to it, this will be perhaps the most empowering product in the hands of a kid.
Everybody out there, the obvious question is, how did you achieve this?
We've achieved it because we believed that we could achieve it. We believed we needed to deliver this to our kids. We needed to deliver this to our students. We had a dedicated team who had a passion for doing this. And there were lots of glitches on the way, because as we moved forward with the system, it didn't work very well. And then of course we wanted it to be an Indian product. We have produced this in India. We've done it even though we don't produce the chip in India, but despite that, we have been able to do it for 2,200 rupees.
I think it's amazing. And after that subsidy, when the educational institution gets it for about 12 or 13 or 1,500 rupees, that's a staggering.
Well, at the moment, 10,000 pieces have been ordered. The production has faltered, but the capacity today is 700 a day. And with subsidy, with 10,000 pieces, it will come to about 1,100–1,200. And this is only on 10,000. When we rev up the manufacturing to 1,000,000 pieces, you can imagine the price will come down much lower.
Now let's talk about two things that obviously come up. One, of course, is the future, which we'll come to right at the end. The other is, when you have a device out like this, mainstream players, companies and brands are obviously not going to be very happy. I mean, this is a market they could have taken, or you're now producing something which is maybe 1/10 the price that they want to sell at.
But what's our objective? I mean, the objective is not to provide this for kids in India. The objective is to provide this for kids around the world.
Yes.
So if this can be a benchmark for all those great competitors outside the system who may have not wanted the device to come up, for them it should be a stepping stone for actually collaborating with us.
I'm very happy to hear that, because I do believe that once this news is out, I think a lot of countries are going to be in touch with you.
Absolutely.
And that again brings me to another question. Are you really geared up? Can you ramp up to maybe take on world production?
Luckily, I'm also for the moment the Minister for Communications and Information Technology. We have the ITI there. We're going to get that involved.
Okay.
We're going to get the IT department involved. We're going to get CDAC involved. And we're going to say, okay, now let's get the production going, right? And we'll just not limit it to production to the ITI. We'll ask other manufacturing units to come and collaborate with us so we can supply this to the rest of the world. Why not?
How do you complete this? What's the future? What would you really like this to go and become?
Well, how do I connect this to the net? This is the big challenge. Right. So we're thinking of having the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology set up a Wi-Fi system across the country. We can set it up in the next 6 months at a much lower cost than the fiber optics. That can come on its own in the next academic year.
Okay, fine. So you lived up to your first promise, and I think the second one we will also. Congratulations once again. I'll start by thanking you. Saved our skin, and now maybe this may well be the revolution in the education sector we've all been waiting for decades and decades.
No, really, I want through you to tell not just the people of this country but around the world. This is not just about India. It's about the future of children. And I want everybody who is in the business to come with us, collaborate with us, and let's do something for the children of this world.
The other obvious question is this only then for the education sector? Do you see this span out into different segments? And the other obvious question is this only then for the education sector? Do you see this span out into different segments? And
see, we started off by wanting to connect, 30,000 colleges around the country, 600 universities. We've already connected about 490 odd universities and several thousand colleges. But when I look at this device, and once we set the Wi-Fi in place, then actually this tablet can be used for delivering e-governance. You see, under the Public Service Delivery Act, which we intend to move in Parliament, all public services can be delivered through this tablet. So for the moment it will be used in the education sector by students, but actually it can be used by the community, actually for the delivery of public services in India. I can pay my income tax through this device, I can get a refund through this device, I can get my passport application cleared through this device, I can pay my insurance premiums through this device, right? I can find out when my licenses are expiring through this device. I mean, and any other payments by government under Manrega, and you can use this device. You can imagine the demand for it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sibal. Fantastic.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.